Welcome guys to my first ever episode of Halloween week. I am so pumped by doing this. What it is that I review different horror films each week in a year, and I choose different type of genres of the horror films that I'm going to review and review them to you guys. So this year is my very first Halloween week, so I gotta review my favorite horror films. That is my genre this year. These films known as my classic horror films. And these aren't the horror films that I would say this came in the 1960s and all that stuff. These are the horror films that I enjoy watching. That could be either modern horror films or they can be horror films for a while ago. So my very first ever horror review for Halloween week, I'm going to choose Jaws, directed by Steven Spielberg and stars Roy Scheider, Richard Travis, and Rob Shaw. And basically, in fact, this movie came out in 1975, and in fact, this movie is the very first summer blockbuster. This is the biggest movie of 1975. This is basically the first big movie where everyone lines up in a line, very long, because this movie had came out. I heard a story that my dad went to the drive-ins and saw this movie, and he said it's one of the biggest movies of that year. Everyone keeps watching it all over again. And he watched it in the drive-ins with my grandpa, and he loved it. He loved going to drive-ins and watch those type of movies. And I did watch Jaws when I was actually 5 years old. And I was freaking terrified as shit because I really hate sharks. Even till this day, I hate sharks. Sharks creep me out. I really hate sharks. I don't know why. Every time I see shark videos on YouTube, I just get freaked out. It's like people are scared of clowns. I'm scared of sharks. So that's why. So let's get back to this review. So basically this is about Chief Brody, played by Roy Scheider. He's a police chief in the beach. Basically he wants to close down the beach because of this girl. She got attacked by a shark, but the mayor of the town refuses him to close down the beaches. And after that, the shark keeps attacking a lot of people in the beach. So Chief Brody has no choice but to kill the shark, along with this biologist played by Richard Travis and the captain played by Rob Shaw. Now, I really love Jaws. Jaws was incredible. I freaking love Jaws from start to finish. And even though I'm scared of sharks, I still freaking love this movie. I could watch this film a lot more times, and I had no flaws at all. This is a flawless movie. And what's great about this movie so much is that they don't use any special effects. This movie is totally product or like made placement. Like the shark wasn't actually special effects. They actually used an actual machine to build the shark, and that is very impressive. It must be a very expensive film as well. It hit a lot of money in the box office. In fact, this is the first film that hit a lot of money in the box office. So this film was very impressive. It's really kind of like homemade, basically. It's really fantastic. I really like the plot, and I really love the three actors in the film. Roy Scheider, Richard Travis, and Rob Shaw. They both had the best chemistry I've seen in the film. Roy Scheider is my favorite part of the movie. He is fantastic as a police chief. He doesn't feel like Roy Scheider. He feels like an actual character. He feels like Chief Brody. Even the other characters, Richard Travis as his biologist, and also known as his best friend, really love him in the film. But Rob Shaw as the captain, my god, he was freaking amazing in this film. He's probably the funnest character in the whole film, and he's kind of like a comedic part in the film as well with Richard Travis. Like this film, what I really like about this film the most is that they put a lot of genres in one. Like when I watched The Mountain Between Us, they tried to put genres in one and it didn't work. This movie kicks in with a lot of genres. Thriller, horror, comedy, adventure. It fits in very well because this film was so great with the genres. Every single part of the movie, I laugh, I get suspenseful, it was scary still to this day. Like, it's great putting different genres in one. There are a lot of great moments in Jaws, and I'm going to spoil it to you guys, so spoiler if you haven't seen Jaws, but seriously, have you been living in a cave if you haven't seen Jaws? Like, this movie was fantastic, especially with some great moments. Like, probably my favorite part in this entire movie, when Roy Scheider is throwing up the blood, and then you see the shark for the first time ever. Because in the first half of the film, we don't see the shark, which that's what I like as well, because we want to know how big the shark is, how it looks, and everyone's like, we're not going to know what the shark looks. But then when you see him just randomly come up and trying to eat Roy Scheider's hand, and Roy Scheider stepping back to Captain, and he's saying, "We gonna need a bigger boat." And I was like, that is probably my favorite quotes I've seen in a whole entire movie. Like, we see the shark, and the shark looks fantastic in this film. And as I said before, it's not CGI. it's actually a placement. And he looks great. He looks very real. Even this movie came out in 1975, I still think that shark, they used an actual shark in this film, but not to use a robot. The shark was fantastic. And like the second half of the film, to the third act, was my favorite part when you see Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Shaw in a boat trying to catch a shark. And those scenes were very entertaining. Like the first half is basically a suspenseful thriller when Roy Scheider basically doesn't want anyone to go on the beaches, and we kind of investigate what's going to happen, and then the shark is eating people. But the second half is basically an adventure film where they're trying to kill off the shark, and it was great. They put like two films in one, and I love that. It's fantastic. This film is so flawless. I really love this movie. This movie is so suspenseful, thrilling, also a bit funny, but the film itself is just really original and fantastic. So overall, guys, I love Jaws so much. This is my favorite film from Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg is a fantastic director. He directed fantastic movies, and this is probably my favorite movie by his forever. I think it's better than E.T., Indiana Jones, Bridge of Spies. This is my favorite movie by him. I'm gonna give Jaws an A+. So guys, have you seen Jaws? Wait, that's not the question, because everyone should have seen Jaws. So what do you think of Jaws? Comment below, let me know what you think, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and have a nice day.